Welcome to Simply About Money. Today, we'll travel back to ancient Babylon, the legendary city of gold, wisdom, and ambition, to uncover 3 timeless lessons about lending, borrowing, and using money wisely. The stories you'll hear are based on The Richest Man in Babylon, a book written a century ago, yet inspired by the lives of people who walked the earth thousands of years before us. And though these tales come from another time, their wisdom feels strikingly modern, because human nature hasn't changed. We still dream, we still doubt, and we still learn the same lessons about wealth the hard way. Lesson 1. When helping hurts. Imagine this. You've just earned your first real success, gold in your hands after years of hard work. And then someone close to you comes asking for help. A family member, a friend. "Just lend me some money," they plead. "It'll change everything." Your heart says yes, but your gut hesitates. Because what if they're not ready for this responsibility? In ancient Babylon, a craftsman named Rodan faced the same dilemma. His sister begged him to lend his savings to her husband, promising he only needed one chance to prosper. Confused and uneasy, Rodan sought out Mathan, a wise moneylender, hoping for a clear answer. But instead of giving him advice, Mathan told him a story. A story about a bull and an ass. The parable of the bull and the ass. One evening, a farmer overheard his ox complaining to the ass. The ox sighed heavily and said, "Every day I plough the fields from dawn till dusk while you wander in the shade, carrying only light loads. My life is endless toil." The ass, wanting to sound clever, whispered, "Then stop working. Tomorrow, when the servant comes, lie down and pretend you're sick. You'll finally rest, and I'll tell you how it feels." The farmer, hidden nearby, smiled to himself. He had heard every word. The next morning, when the servant came and found the ox lying on the ground, he ran to his master and said, "The ox is sick and cannot work today." The farmer replied, "Then hitch the ass to the plough. The ploughing must go on." So all day long, under the burning sun, the ass pulled the heavy plough, straining, sweating, trembling with every step. The work that had seemed so easy from the shade now felt endless. When evening came, the farmer told his servant, "If the ox is still sick tomorrow, send for the butcher. We'll make use of his flesh before it spoils." Terrified, the ass hurried to the ox's stall that night and cried, "Brother, get up. Work tomorrow, or you'll be killed, and I'll be next." The ox grunted softly and said, "You have taught me much. Better to bear the yoke with purpose than rest under a lie." From then on, the ox ploughed without complaint, and the ass learned never again to give advice on burdens he did not carry. Mathan smiled and said, "The ass thought he was being clever, but his foolish advice brought him nothing but suffering. When you lend money to someone who doesn't understand its weight, you take on their burden, and soon it becomes your own." And that's exactly what happens when we lend money to those who don't understand how to use it. We take on their worries, their failures, their lessons, and call it kindness. True generosity is not in saving others from their mistakes, but in guiding them to wisdom so they can save themselves. Helping without wisdom turns compassion into loss. Help with wisdom, and both of you grow stronger. Lesson 2. Fortune favors the decisive. Another Babylonian story reminds us, opportunity never disappears. It simply moves to the one who acts. One evening, a weary merchant returned from a long, fruitless journey. For 10 days he had searched for camels and found nothing. To his dismay, Babylon's gates were already closed. He sighed, ordered his servants to pitch camp, and prepared for a night without food or water. As they worked, an old shepherd approached. Dusty, desperate, clutching his cloak. "Honorable merchant," he said, "I have a fine flock of sheep, 900 strong. My wife is gravely ill, and I must return home tonight. If you buy them now, I'll sell them to you for a fair and honest price." The merchant listened. He could hear the bleating of the flock in the dark. It sounded like fortune calling, but he couldn't see the animals. The night was too deep, the risk too real. What if they're sick? What if he's lying? He thought. So he said, "I'll count them in the morning and pay you then." The shepherd pleaded, "Take my servant as a guarantee. Pay me just a part tonight and settle the rest at dawn." But the merchant shook his head. "At sunrise," he repeated. When the first light came, It brought not profit, but regret. The city gates had opened, and word spread like fire. The city faced a siege, and livestock was suddenly worth 3 times its price. Before the merchant could act, the shepherd and his flock were gone, sold to quicker hands, and with them, his chance. That day he learned, opportunity doesn't wait for comfort. It visits quietly, without promise, without certainty. And those who hesitate, watch it leave in someone else's arms. We tell ourselves we're being wise, careful, patient. But often it's just fear disguised as prudence. And fear is the most expensive teacher of all. In Babylon, they said, the moment of doubt is the moment fortune changes hands. Because the world rewards the doer, not the dreamer. Every delay costs a chance. Every hesitation has a price. Those who act boldly may stumble, but those who wait lose far more than gold. They lose momentum, faith, and the rarest treasure of all, timing. So when life offers you a door, don't stand there measuring its frame. Step through before it closes. Lesson 3. Trust your gold only to the wise. Another Babylonian story tells us that even wisdom is often born from loss. When Arkad was young, before he became the richest man in Babylon, he worked hard, saved every coin, and finally held in his hands his first bag of gold. He wanted that gold to grow, quickly. So when a friendly stonemason said, "I know a trader who can buy rare jewels abroad. We'll sell them here for a fortune." Arkad's eyes lit up. It sounded like the perfect plan. He gave the stonemason his savings and waited for his riches to return. But when the man came back, his precious stones turned out to be nothing but worthless glass. The gold was gone, and Arkad learned his first, most painful lesson. Never trust your money to someone who does not understand where it's going. Good intentions don't replace knowledge, and friendship doesn't replace expertise. From that day, Arkad vowed that his gold would never again be guided by fools. He would only seek counsel from those who truly knew. Jewelers about jewels, merchants about trade, builders about stone. Because in Babylon, they said, gold is a faithful servant to the wise, but a cruel master to the foolish. So remember this, it's not luck that protects your wealth, but wisdom, and the courage to say no to bad advice. And so, 3 timeless lessons from the heart of Babylon come to us today. Lesson 1. When helping hurts. Compassion without wisdom can turn kindness into loss. True generosity guides others toward understanding, not just relief. Lesson 2. Fortune favors the decisive. Opportunity waits for no one. Hesitation may protect your comfort, but it also robs you of the rarest treasures, timing, momentum, and the chance to grow. Lesson 3. Trust your gold. Only to the wise. Money is powerful, but only when it is guided by knowledge. Good intentions and friendships are no substitute for experience and skill. Thousands of years have passed since Arkad, Rodan, and the merchants of Babylon walked these streets. Yet their lessons are alive today in every decision we make with money, trust, and opportunity. Wealth is not built by luck. It is earned through wisdom, courage, and disciplined action. So, when opportunity appears, take it decisively. When someone asks for help or money, lend only with wisdom, not just goodwill. And when it comes to investing, trust your gold only to those who truly understand it. Because bold action guided by knowledge always outshines hesitation and regret. Wisdom is the true gold. The rest only follows. Thank you for watching. If you found these lessons helpful, give us a like, subscribe, and share this video with friends who want to grow their wealth wisely. We'll see you in the next video with more timeless tips and stories from the world of money. Until then, stay curious, act boldly, and let wisdom guide your gold.